Hello, Milford Public Schools families. Happy fall. We are back with the next installment of the Milford Moments for the 24-25 school year. We have so much to share, right, Steve?
We do. We've got three big topics to discuss today and get into.
Right. So we have what's happening in the tech ed world and the capital investments that have been supported by our city. Then you have another high school update.
We do our MBD advisory process that's kicking off.
Now
this
say
year.
that slower, MBDE.
Yes.
All right, because we're Italians, we like to talk fast like that. And that stands for?
Mastery-based diploma experience.
Okay, and then we're going to jump in at the end on our elementary schedule and what does the day in the life of an elementary kiddo look like, right?
You got it. Those are the big three.
All right, so let's get started. We have a lot to share. I'm going to use my notes because this is so much information. In the world of tech ed, we have been so blessed to have the support of the Board of Ed, the city, to provide some capital funds to redesign our tech spaces at the two high schools. So you know that tech space doesn't look like it did when we were growing up.
Definitely does not.
I remember wood shop and some other experiences
What did you make in wood shop?
I made a birdhouse. What'd you make?
I did a stool, wooden stool.
And I'm pretty sure everyone has their own story about wood shop who's watching this. Wait, did I hear that your mom might still have your wooden stool?
She still has the wooden stool. I believe it's in the living room at home, so
That's
it's
cute.
survived all these years.
So while we are interested in tech ed, it looks a little different today in 2024. So we're approaching this in the concept of studios. We're creating studio spaces in both of our high schools. One studio in particular is transportation. I don't know, I didn't take automotive shop, but a lot of people did back in junior or high school. So automotive shop looks so different today. I mean, when you take your car into the dealership to get fixed, that's looking a lot different. So we're gonna work with our kids on what does it mean to own a car, automotive technology, automotive maintenance for those individuals who want to go into this field of work. So it's very much computer-based these days.
Different types of vehicles, hybrid electric cars.
Right.
The technology just is continuously changing.
So we're allowing the industry, the market, to drive what those learning spaces look like and what our kids are learning. So it aligns with them just immediately getting a job. Another studio space we're envisioning is manufacturing. Now, manufacturing looks completely different today. It's not the dirty manufacturing as I've heard it referred to. It's more of a clean space. So we're looking at intro to manufacturing, but also computer-aided manufacturing and engineering design. So these are like mechanical, cleaner spaces of design. Another studio that we are going to focus on is construction. Now, just take a look around all of Milford. A lot of building going on. So we're thinking about preparing our young people who want to go directly into that field. So learning experiences around principles of construction and then advanced carpentry as well. So a lot more than just the wood shop.
And I think you captured it best. I mean, architecture and construction, labor force data shows that those are two of the up and coming fields. And in the next 10 years, high skill, high demand, high wage professions that we're preparing our kids for right here in Milford.
And in all of these, we are hoping to provide our kids an opportunity with industry standard certifications. You know, give them the opportunity to earn those while they're here in high school so they can go right into the workforce. Yeah. If they don't choose to go to, let's say, a technical college, a community college, or a four-year college, right? So whatever the child decides to do at the end of senior year, we want them to be ready to do. Another studio is technology and communication. So you wouldn't have thought it, but it is a high demand, graphics, screen printing, and digital technology communication. So we want our kids to have those experiences again in our high schools. Second to last studio, hang in there, is a design studio. So technical drafting, architecture, I think you mentioned, and interior design. Yeah. So studios that support that kind of learning. And lastly, as you can imagine, a STEM studio that focuses on robotics, 3D CAD, and engineering.
But we're not done yet. We're even dreaming about some future ones.
We are. We're always dreaming for our kiddos. So allied health, lots of jobs available. We're looking at expanding our CNA and medical phlebotomy. I know you always mention that one. Culinary, my personal favorite.
Mine too.
Expanding those spaces, that's up and coming for our capital improvement dialogue. And then I know your favorite that you're really investing a lot of time and research in is marine science.
And aquaculture. I think the aquaponics, hydroponics, just so many opportunities for us to have our kids being able to do some of the sustainable growth of plants and connections and relationships with our food service program right here in district.
And it makes sense. We're right on the shoreline. We should have a marine science, aquaculture type of experience for all of our kiddos, right?
Great opportunities for experiential learning for our students.
So much happening at the high school. You're also focusing on the MBDE work.
Yeah, we're excited. We're about a week plus away from launching another element to our advisory process this year, and that's our mastery-based diploma experience, or MBDE as we refer to it. And one of the things that we're really looking to do is to infuse in opportunities for our students to reflect, and not just reflect, but reflect intentionally on work that they're doing throughout their courses at the high school level, and aligning that to our Milford Public Schools vision of the learner, which is our core document. It's our skills and dispositions and beliefs that we have that all of our students will possess before they graduate from high school. And the key thing about that is it's not just high school. We want kids to begin that the day they walk in the door, whether it's pre-K, kindergarten, whenever their entry to our system is. We want those experiences to happen throughout their entire time with us.
And that's why we chose to call it a vision of the learner instead of a portrait of a graduate, right? It's what we dream for all of our learners the moment they walk in the door. And it gives us, for those kiddos that walk in as kindergartners, a 13-year ramp to helping them achieve those goals that we have for them, but those goals that they will then help co-create in the future.
Yeah, and it will ramp all the way up to a senior experience, which is like a really massive job fair kind of feel where kids are able to present capstone projects, internships, personal interest projects. We have a lot of students that are in Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts that do a massive project that we'd want to be able to allow them to showcase and present to families.
I love how that concept infuses itself out into the community, because we know we have business partners that are very interested in mentoring some of our young people along this journey of finding out what they want to do. So I think there's more to come.
Yes.
Sounds like a future video. Capstone, internship, business partners.
There'll definitely be some updates. Yeah, we're always expanding our stakeholder groups.
But we know that this starts as soon as the kids walk in the door. So we have some elementary update on what does the elementary schedule look like in preparation for some of this, right? You and the elementary team are doing a lot of work on this.
I'm really glad that you brought that up. So over the summer, we started to map out what's a typical school day look like for one of our elementary kiddos. And going into that, obviously it begins with our literacy work.
Foundational.
And breaking that out into its core elements. So we have a foundational reading time, foundational reading block for our early elementary kiddos, which then grows up to a word work in the upper elementary grades.
And some of our parents may recognize that as phonics, phonemic awareness, those words that are familiar to us, right?
And then we have our traditional reading and writing workshop time, opportunities for kids to work together across books. But then also be able to write about their reading. Math instruction is still there, though we did add some additional time on to accommodate small group work during the math classroom.
So we expanded that time a little bit?
Yes.
Okay.
World language, we're really excited
to
continue to be supported by a community that values world language at the elementary level. So that's still an element of our students' days.
And then, of course, we offer science and social studies on a rotating basis, and we have the great opportunity of STEM labs at the elementary school. So you just talked about two key features that don't exist everywhere. World language and STEM labs at the elementary.
Yeah, and our STEM educators do such a great job at really building inquiry-based projects for our students, so we're fortunate to have that.
We have the infusion of art, music, physical education, library media, and then this year, an explicit part of our schedule, albeit it's been there, but we've intentionally called out the academic support and acceleration time, the ASA time, for our kids who need additional supports for acceleration.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point. It's the student support piece. We also have we've shifted from more of a morning meeting structure to a community meeting structure this year.
Right.
That can be throughout the school day, really connections around social emotional learning and aligned to our district theme of belonging, that we want all of our students and staff to feel like they are valued members of our community.
You know, I think, Steve, in our experience, we realize that in a place where you feel like you belong, anything is possible.
Yeah, I
And
think
so foundational to all this work, whether it's the studios and tech ed and the aquaponics, which I know you're really excited about, or culinary, or the schedule for elementary, first and foremost is that our students need to know that they belong here and our staff belong here and that we are about building school community. So all of these great dreams and hopes and plans we have really is in service to our young people. And I just feel grateful that we could share the plans that we have that are supported by our Board of Ed and our community. So Milford Moments is kind of an exciting time for us to share out loud what we get to experience in 14 buildings across almost 500 classrooms. So there's more to come.
we'll start getting ready for our November update.
All right, we'll see you next month.
Bye, everybody. Take care.